Okay folks, how you going? Well, today I'm just going to give you a quick demo tutorial on cleaning out some carbys. Hey, the reason I'm doing this is because I had a hell of a job with these carbys, getting them cleaned out and sorted. They've been sitting around for a number of years. They actually come out of a KR250 tandem twin 1985. I'll show you what you need to do to get into them, clean these bad boys out. Now I've removed everything off of here already. This basically comes straight off the motor as is. I haven't got the slide here or the jet needle here, obviously. Taking the hoses off for the fuel, vacuum, breather, choke. Everything else though is as it's come straight off the bike. So what you want to do is take this float bowl off. I've actually prepared one earlier so I don't have to bore you with removing the bowl. So once this comes out of here, things you got to look out for is your seal here. Make sure that's not split or cracked. I actually had these carbys dipped in special carby dip because they were pretty filthy. But if you're not going to do that, you want to make sure your little hole here is clean. Compressor, carby cleaner, whatever you want to do. Be careful of some carby cleaners because they can actually ruin your seals. I'll just remove this drain screw here, show you guys in there. This is nothing important, it's nothing much can go wrong with this bit here. Just make sure it's all cleaned out, there's no more gunk in there. It doesn't take very much for these carbys to foul up, as you'll soon see. So once you've taken your float bowl off, you'll see your float there. Careful not to bend it out of shape. If you do, you'll need to get hold of your manual and see the actual how much travel's meant to be in your float. There's a pin here which you give it a knock, which I've already done that so that, again, I don't bore you guys too much. So carefully remove that pin, like so. So the pin comes out. Put him aside, out comes your float. Not too much to do on the float either, it's pretty self-explanatory, that unit. So what we've got under here, a few things to look at. Right, so you've got here your little needle here. You see the little tip on the end there? You've got to make sure that's, if you guys can see that there, got to make sure that's nice and pointy, nice smooth sides on it. Otherwise you're going to get an incorrect fuel flow coming out. Alrighty. Oh, here it is over here. Right. Okay, so what you want to do is remove your main jet here, unscrewing it. Do that first. Okay, so main jet comes out, there's a bit of a washer there. So what the main jet does, it's fed obviously by your jet needle, which goes from your slide, throttle, etc. straight down through that hole down the bottom there into an assembly inside, which I'm just about to pop out. That's called the needle jet. Now be careful when driving this baby out. You don't want to damage any thread or the sides of the carbs, so just put a drive down in there carefully. Get yourself you get a knockometer. Give her a gentle tap until she pops out. Okay, put that aside for the minute. So you can see there's actually a casing in there which you don't want to damage. So this is the jet needle. This is the first thing you need to inspect to make sure it's super clean. Okay, if this needle jet isn't super clean, then you're going to run into all sorts of trouble. Okay, so obviously you want to look through it. You'll see a number of holes here which actually atomises the fuel and air together and causes the boom boom in your motor. Okay, so make sure all those holes are clear. She's nice and clear. All the sides have been cleared of any gunk or built up fuel. Now just remember, when you're putting these back again, you'll see a small, it's actually quite a large groove in the top of this jet here. Okay, that needs to line up with, you'll see a pin on the side of the carby, it needs to line up with that pin there. Okay, and you basically put it in the same way that you took it out. So like, drop it down, get a drive, try not to damage inside around there where your needle goes into, otherwise you could run into some trouble. Okay, so next we are going to pull out the main jet. Now be very careful, sorry, not the main jet, the pilot jet. Very careful pulling out the pilot jet, because if you ruin the thread or the flathead on this, you're in trouble. Now if this one here is clogged up, this particular jet here, you'll have no go on the bike. It will only run on choke. In other words, it will run very lean. If it's running lean, the second you take the choke off, it dies. This is your problem. So you want to make sure all these holes here are completely clear. And when you look down it, I don't think you're going to be able to see, but you might be able to. When you look down it, you can just see it there. You can just see through it. It's like three small circles joined together inside there. That needs to be super clear as well. So make sure that's all cleaned out. You're going to need to make sure all these little breather, fuel, mixture holes are all cleaned out as well. Okay, there's a couple there. There's one down the bottom there, you can see that flashing there. There's no point taking this face off, it's just an airflow through there. There's nothing really to do under there. So I'll just get back to this valve needle. This is this unit here which needs to be super shiny. Next thing is looking at the valve seat here, which is this round part here. Okay, here's another problem if your bike's running okay up high but down low, there's just no power at all. There's a fair chance you could be flooding your motor. So I'll show you what was happening with mine. You take this Phillips head out here. There's an O-ring in this valve seat, which we'll get to. Oh, magnets. So you've got a clip holding your valve seat in. So I'll take him out. Your screw, your valve needle. So this unit under here, if this falls out really easily, there's a fair bet that your O-ring on your valve seat is knackered. See, what this does is it prevents fuel from flowing through the carby through your motor. Okay, so this O-ring's knackered, which this one is. You can easily see that by, just take it off with these because it's easier. This one's that worn that it's actually quite hard. I've had this off before and it's actually broken into two pieces. So what was happening was fuel was going straight through, bypassing the needle, the valve needle, going straight around the outside of this valve seat, past the O-ring, which is rock hard and not doing anything at all. That's going to go in the bin and basically flooding the motor. causing all sorts of grief. So inside here you can see there's a couple more chambers to clean out and wash through. I always use an air compressor, give it a good soaking in fuel. What happens is the fuel crystallizes after a period of time and it goes rock hard. It's very hard to remove. There's a bit of that down here still evident, you can see that down there. So what you want to make sure is all your ports and everything are super clean. There's no gunk left anywhere. Pull them apart, clean them out and put them all back together again. Okay, so no probs. That certainly fixed my problem of the bike not idling, the bike having no power down low, and also the bike having no power up in the rev range. The bike was almost, felt like it was running out of fuel, which I suppose in a sense it was, because it wasn't a little pilot here wasn't letting any fuel through. Sorry, the pilot jet wasn't letting any fuel through, so she was getting starved. It's a bit of a black art, these carbys. Bit of trial and error. You'll get frustrated, you'll pull it apart a million times and scratch your head and think what's going on, but persist with it and eventually you'll get to the bottom of the problem and you'll be off. Alrighty, I won't bother you with me putting it back together. If you want to see how it goes back together, just watch this in reverse. Pretty much. So I'm going to get another carby kit for this unit here. I'll pick one up about 35 bucks on eBay. Gives you new seals, gives you a new O-ring, pair of O-rings, pair of new seats, needles, valves. This one is pretty good, these aren't too bad at all. I'll readjust my floats and I'll stick them back on the machine. And hopefully she'll be a goer. So this is the bad boy, it's come off. Just show you the slides quickly. The slides and the jet needles there, they just slide into the top of the carbys. Don't forget your chokes. Put them back together. Kick them over. And hopefully the old quack is going to live again. And I'll let you know how I go. No worries folks. Hey, thanks for watching. Any questions, drop us a line. Any comments, drop us a comment. And chat to you soon. Bye for now.